Hello, loves. Welcome to Venus in Retro Tarot. Thanks so much for joining me in this space. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so grateful to have you here. And what we're going to do today is pick a card that is based on the moon card in the tarot. But before we get into it, I'd just like to say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe this video if the messages resonate with you. I'd really appreciate that. It helps this channel grow, and I would love for you to come back and keep getting the medicine from these messages. So grateful for each of your likes, shares, subscribes, comments. So what we're gonna do is jump right into picking your piles. But what I wanna say before we do that is, the moon card and this reading is all about what you may or may not be seeing clearly at this time, and what your higher self, your guides, your ancestors want to do to help you at this time to manage that energy, because it can lead to some anxiety, a little bit of difficulty with sitting with what's unknown, and we can all use help with that, right? It's a very, very human emotion and a human experience. So what we're going to do is go ahead and look at each crystal that is on these piles that may help you sink into which pile is calling to you. It may be more than one pile. Also, this reading is timeless. So if you feel like one pile calls to you today, and in the future you feel like you want to come back and pick another pile, these readings are timeless, and they will always be relevant for the time that you need them. So feel free to come back at any time and pick a pile. So pile 1, this crystal is green calcite, and it's great for serenity. So definitely good if you're feeling really anxious at this time about something that you don't know and need a little bit of help surrendering to when you will finally get that revelation, or what you don't know will be revealed to you. So that is pile 1. Pile 2 is green quartz, which is great for inviting good fortune, abundance into your life. So if you're looking for more of that and kind of feeling like you're searching and no answers are coming, pile 2 might be your pile. And then pile 3 is a raw rose quartz, and that is great for inviting love and fostering more self-love in your life. So if you're feeling any kind of stagnancy or any resistance, any anxiety in the realm of relationships, or even, the relationship that you have with yourself, pile 3 might be your pile. And pile 4 is apatite, which is great for connection. So very similar to pile 3, which is rose quartz, but it could be intuitive connection, spiritual connection with others, rose quartz as well. It doesn't have to be romantic, and this can be any type of connection that you're looking to foster with pile 4 and the apatite. And then finally, for pile 5, we have sodalite, which is a great crystal for introspection and reflection. So with moon energy, where it's really asking us to tune into our intuition, this might be a pile that's calling to you if you're wanting to do more of that, more connection, more meditation, ways of really tuning into what that subtle message is trying to send you that you may not be able to really discern. So these are your piles, and what I would recommend that you do before you select your pile is pause this video and take 3 deep mindful breaths. And I would breathe in your nose and hold for 4 seconds, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds. Do that 3 times, and the third breath, when you breathe out, really exhale loudly, releasing some of that anxious or tense energy, and allow yourself to be really rooted and grounded. That will help you really sink into the pile that's calling to you, or piles. So I would pause the video and go ahead and get rooted, and then we're going to jump right into a 30-second meditation where you can run your hand over each pile and see if maybe you get a little zip in your hand. And sometimes that will help you see as well which piles are calling to you. I would use your left hand because that is the seat of your intuition. So go ahead and pause this video now, pick your pile, and then we're going to go ahead and do that 30-second meditation. So I'm going to start the 30-second meditation now. So go ahead and pause and then come back and the music will start. Okay. Hello, pile 1. So this is the pile that selected the green calcite, which is great for serenity. And we're just going to go ahead and put that to the side. So what is it that you are not seeing clearly right now? The first thing we're going to look at is what archetype is getting activated for you at this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And you got the hypnotist. So this corresponds to the third eye chakra. So what this tells me is that you're in a period where your third eye and your intuition is really getting activated. And that really does speak to moon energy, because we're talking about what you can't see clearly, right? And the moon asks us to really tune into our intuition, to be able to sit with what's unknown and allow our subconscious to speak to us. So being that this is getting activated for you, this is a big time where you're meant to be doing intuitive work, because even though this is a third eye chakra card, what you're meant to do is channel and connect to people in a way where it's almost like your throat chakra and your third eye are connecting. It's like you speak, and it's so powerful and connected to other people. You see into them, and it's almost like your words are spells, that you're casting a spell. You can see into people. You can see beyond the surface. So really being awakened to your intuition. In the hypnotist, this really speaks to, I can see as well, the need to do a lot of meditative work. And that will look differently for everyone, because not all meditation works the same for each of us. But really, really working on, awakening that third eye, and maybe doing some kind of hypnosis work safely could be something that you do at this time to kind of awaken your third eye. But that is the archetype that's getting activated for you. And let's see what question is presenting itself. And it says, you can radically change your results by shifting your beliefs. What belief is limiting you? Okay, and this is card 2, which relates to the High Priestess, which is also an intuitive connection related to the Keeper of the Mysteries. So you really are going through a radical shift in how you connect to your intuition, real leveling up of that. But what ways in that you relate to, like your ability to intuit messages, what thoughts are limiting you, and what ways can you shift your thinking if you don't think that you're intuitive, if you don't believe that the messages that you're receiving are valid, then that could really limit you. Our intuition only works as well as we trust it. And it's a muscle that has to be constantly worked and tended to. It's not something that just comes easy to everyone. And I've usually found that people that are, really easily, intuition comes easily to them, that they don't tend to use it as much. I think that you get the best results when it's not something that necessarily comes as naturally to you, because any kind of tension, anything that we have to work for, really produces the best results. So you're going through a big period of activation, but it's asking you to really shift your beliefs around intuition. And what I'm really getting the sense of is, like, if you have a lot of earth in your chart, or, and this may or may not apply, take what applies. This isn't necessarily true, but, people that have a lot of earth usually are told, that, you need more water in your chart, or, if you have too much fire, or, not enough water. There's a lot of emphasis on water signs, water houses, for intuitive connection. But I think we are all intuitive in different ways. So it's really coming to shift your belief in the ways that your intuitive nature shows up, because the hypnotist is here to say that your third eye, you will see beyond, and then also, channel that into the real world. So that could be that you're an earth sign and, you're seeing messages and rooting them down into the consciousness. It could be that you're an air sign and you're speaking them. It could be that you're a fire sign and you're connecting and relating those messages through a passion project or your creativity, or really, channeling them into art. So there are so many ways that, you can use this to like hypnotize and bring people in to conscious awareness. So that is really powerful, pile one. So what we're going to do is look at your tarot spread now. And the first card is going to be what you're not seeing clearly. So let's take a look at that. And look at that. We have 10 of air, Sun and Gemini. So look, we're talking about how can you radically shift your beliefs, what beliefs are limiting you. The 10 of air is the 10 of swords. This is the end of a cycle of a way of thinking. It's, the period where we've been through a complete cycle, and in the Smith Rider-Waite, there are 10 swords stabbing someone in the back, but the sun is coming up over the horizon in the background. It's like we're dying to an old belief system, and something new is coming in to take its place. So, it's not like the Ace of Swords where it's like a baby brand new flash of insight. This is taking all of the lessons and starting a new cycle. So you really are being called to radically change what you believe and integrate those new lessons. And really, I was getting that, third eye energy connection to the throat chakra, which is very, air, communication. And look, we have a Gemini card, which is an air sign that is very relational. So very big confirmation that, you are meant to bring this hypnotizing energy, like your words are spells. And that's what you're not seeing right now. If you're not believing that you are as intuitive as you actually are, you're being called to do some type of work that's related to that. Excuse me, getting a little tongue-tied. There's a lot of messages coming through, that if you've been getting subtle hints of this, but you're like, no, that can't be me. That's not right. That's not right. Really change the way that you're thinking about it. So the next card we're going to look at is why it's stressing you out, this 10 of Swords. Okay, and you got the Justice card in reverse, which is also an 11 card, which reduces down to a 2, also a master number. More air here. It's ruled by Libra, but justice really does have to do with cause and effect. It's related to the Queen of Swords as well, which is a Libra card, which is a mix of, water and air. So really fusing your emotions and your logical self, not neglecting one in service of the other, but really allowing yourself to be a channel. And I see justice, if we're looking at it in the upright, as some kind of collective social consciousness and social justice work. Like, it's not meant to be something that just serves the self. That's why it's a 2. And that's why Gemini is here. Gemini is it's ruled by Mercury. It's the messenger. So, how can your messages serve the collective in a way that brings more balance, more fairness? And, what's stressing you out may be seeing all of the injustices that are happening right now in our world. No matter when you're watching this, this is something that has been historical over time. Multiple forms of oppression, people being homeless, the rolling back of LGBT rights, reproductive rights, it's just so many ways that, people are oppressed, being kept down in jobs, that keep them stuck in poverty, and, just racial oppression, so many types of oppression that it may feel so stressful. And this 10 of Swords is like, I am ready to be a part of the solution. I've been through a complete cycle of really considering the stress, the problem, ways of thinking about it. How can I really use my intuitive nature? How can I spread messages to the collective, be part of the collective consciousness and the collective unconscious, but really calling people, drawing people in to hear your messages, because your voice is very powerful. You just may not realize it because your beliefs about yourself might be a little bit limiting, and you're meant to really open yourself to that. And you're just not seeing your gifts clearly right now. But that's really, really powerful, pile one. And, there might be some imbalance where you have to do more, like I said, with the hypnotist, like meditation work, to bring yourself into balance, right? Because the Justice card, Libra, is the scales. So you have to be in balance in order to ripple that outward as well. We can't pour from an empty cup, and you have to be able to kind of exude that from yourself and start within before you can do any kind of outward work, right? So that is what is kind of the source of your stress. So the next card is how to avoid burnout, because the Ten of Swords, Justice in reverse, that really is some, burnout energy. It can be. So the Hierophant, okay, this is another Major Arcana card. The Hierophant is a teacher. The Hierophant really does speak to seeking outside of yourself. It comes after the Emperor, which is a 4, knowing yourself, building a solid foundation of knowing who you are, right? Because if we know who we are, nobody can put labels on us. And then we move from the Emperor into the Hierophant, where we're moving out into the world and we're being exposed to different ways of thinking, different social systems, different belief systems, different spiritual consciousnesses, different, religious beliefs, and really being challenged by that, right? It's any card that's a 5 in the tarot and even in numerology is inherently a challenge to what we believe about ourselves and what our values are, right? Because this card is ruled by Taurus. Taurus is Venus. And here you've got 2 Venus cards, right? Libra is also ruled by Venus. So it's like really examining your values, but doing it in a way that really asks you to consider, what is your place in the world, and what is it, how can you affect change with using your voice? So, the way to avoid burnout, though, is what I see is really seeking out groups and teachers and different systems that are outside of you that can provide you support, things that you really feel vibe with your energy. And it might be a challenge to find that. There might be a couple of instances where, this Ten of Swords and, shifting of your beliefs, you might meet some groups and think it's a good thing, and then you realize that, oh, this really is not in alignment with my values, and it could be, a source of stress to go back to the drawing board. Okay, let's start over. This really wasn't the place for me, and I need to go and seek elsewhere. But how to avoid burnout, it seems counterintuitive, but it's like, don't stop seeking, don't stop, believing and like reaching for higher and higher, and then also allowing spirit and the divine to really be a salve and a message, a messenger to you as well, allowing spirit in to give you messages of encouragement, because the Hierophant in previous decks, the earliest decks was called the Pope. So this really does speak to spiritual knowledge. But think about your ancestors, think about the angels that walk with you, your spirit team. That is all encompassing in the Hierophant, and really allowing them, to help you shape those beliefs about yourself, because they're always speaking messages of love. It's your job, especially with this third eye, to really see beyond what's right in front of you, to go deeper. And here we have more purple in this card, and I see these hands like really enforcing that message of prayer and meditation. And prayer can be, it doesn't have to be on your knees, but, with your hands together, just like in this card, but it can be a moving prayer. It can be, just saying affirmations and mantras to yourself, but really reinforcing what your new beliefs are, because what we speak really does affect our energy. So this next card is the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience. And look at this. 3 out of 4 of your cards are Major Arcana cards. This is big energy that you're meant to submit to. This is a time in your life that, you know, is happening for you, not to you. The Devil card is a liberator. It really is. I think, you know, sometimes we have a surface understanding of what this card is. You know, that the devil can be an oppressor, but it can be a liberator as well. The goal of the devil is really to call attention to the ways that your belief systems, the belief systems that those who came before you and, you know, your earliest roots have imprinted on you, about your abilities, your gifts, your talents, whatever it is that, you know, kind of keeps you held back, keeps you stuck. You know, the ways that you really do need to transform that, right? With this 10 of Swords. So it's really an opportunity to really sit with that, really examine it, and not chain yourself to those past energies, but to free yourself. Because in the Smith Rider-Waite card, the 2 people that are chained to the devil, they could easily slip those chains from around their neck right off and walk away. The goal is to not be in separation from, you know, other people. The devil thrives on your isolation and you being alone. That's why this card is 15, and when you reduce it down, it's a 6. It pairs with the Lover's card, which is about finding that sacred mirror, finding the people who reflect back the best parts of yourself, reflect back images of the divine being that you are. So really, really, you know, the wisdom that you're gaining is an understanding of your shadow and the way that it really does limit your beliefs about yourself. And, you know, it might kind of speak messages of anxiety, and you might confuse that for intuition. But usually if there are messages that make you feel small, if they make you feel isolated, if they make you feel shame, that is anxiety speaking. That's how you will know the difference. That is the wisdom that the devil is trying to teach you, where with this third eye chakra, you can discern, truly discern, what the messages are that are truly coming from your intuition, what's coming from your guides, where you're truly seeing beyond with this third eye energy, where, you know, your high priestess is really being active, you know, and you're tuning into the mysteries of the universe so that you can spread messages of healing, of hope, especially for people who are in, you know, locked into this energy of feeling isolated and like there is no way out. It's like you going through this 10 of Swords and coming out on the other side. You are a living testament to how it can be done for other people. And that is a really, really big, you know, revelation. This is a really big period of time in your life where you're going through a shift, where your life won't look the same afterwards. So really, really big, pile 1. You're gaining a lot at this time, and you may not be able to see it, but your subconscious feels it. Let it in and let it speak to you. So what we're going to do is pull some more oracle cards and see what other messages there are for you. So let's see, what other messages do we have for pile 1? But this is huge spiritual teacher energy, huge liberator energy. Like you're meant to really, you know, align people with their values because you have come to know yourself, and it will draw people in. It's almost like you will become a magnet for people who are seeking healing, which is really powerful, pile 1. You know, and this feels with all of these major arcana cards, like this is your life purpose. This is your calling. This is almost like, you know, your 10th house. You know, so your 10th house might be in Gemini, in Capricorn, in Taurus, or Libra. Not necessarily, but that really might be a confirmation for you of, you know, that this is your reading. But if it's not, you know, if it's not and you're still resonating with this message, that does not mean that it's not your reading. And look at that. We got card 23. That's another 5 with the Hierophant. Shamanic journey, purpose, attunement, vision, quest. Look at this third eye. You are going on a vision quest. You really are meant to see things and think of things in a new way, attune to your higher self, and be in balance and really know your life purpose. I said that this is your purpose. This is why you were, chose to incarnate at this time. And it is challenging that, with these fives, the devil, is 1 and 5, it's magician energy, which means that you have all the tools you need, but it's also Hierophant energy, which means that, there is an element of having to be a seeker, which means that you really can't stay in this isolated energy if you look at double-digit numerology. So, that really is important for you. But this is, really a time where you're attuning to your purpose. So this is no joke, pile one. Let's see what else we got. Earth magic. All right, here we go, more earth energy. And this is card 26, reduces down to an 8. Yeah, really channeling from your authenticity. Didn't I say really getting back to knowing yourself? Fearlessness, removing obstacles with this 10 of Swords, removing limiting beliefs with this Devil energy, but really rooting yourself. It's important with this third eye chakra that's being activated. You see, we have a lot of red here. Red corresponds with the root chakra. Ground yourself. We pay a lot of attention, especially when we want psychic opening, to the higher chakras and neglect the lower chakras. But the root, when you're rooted and grounded, it really does help support some of that upper chakra work. So being that this is being activated, this is already happening for you, your guides, your higher self, this is your purpose. This is happening. It's extra important for you to pay attention to your root and root down. Okay, so let's see what other information we can get from the oracle cards. What messages do we have for pile one? Big life calling. And, we're not in the age of Aquarius yet, but this feels like big, moving into the age of Aquarius energy where, we're much more focused, less self-focused and more focused on the collective and moving it into the future of, more equality, more balance, more, more safety for, the most marginalized and, oppressed among us. And you may be the, one of the people that is a trailblazer, a channel for that. So let's see what we have here. All right, full moon in Aquarius. I was just talking about the age of Aquarius. Okay, full moon in Aquarius, be real. I said something about, being your authentic self, right? With this, this 26 earth magic. Because when the moon is a full moon in Aquarius, the sun is in Leo. I was talking about the strength card here. So the sun's in Leo, the moon is in Aquarius. It's really balancing, your authenticity with service, an emotional need, instinctual need to serve the collective, right? Because that's what the moon is. It's our instinctual nature. So really powerful. Let's get one more moon card for pile one. Last quarter moon in Pisces. The moon card is ruled by Pisces. Wonderful. Talk less, feel more. So really dropping in to those feelings. You have a lot of swords and air energy right here with this 10 of Swords and the Justice in reverse, maybe feeling out of balance. But you've got Earth here with Capricorn and Taurus, really paying attention to the silence and maybe what's going on in your body, focusing on feeling, getting into that root can really help you sink in, and attune to what it is that you're feeling on the physical plane. and not so much, having your brain chemistry and anxiety speaking to you. So here we go. Let's get a mantra for you. Oh. Let's see. I don't think that was it. Let's go 3 times. Mantra for pile 1. Okay. Let's see what we get. Okay. Embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. Okay. So look, if you are feeling limited, if one of your beliefs that's limiting you is that you don't have a right to be, excited, like lit up from your soul about your purpose in life because you don't really feel like you have the ability, this is confirmation here, and make it your mantra. I have a right to be excited about this next phase of my life. I have a right to be excited about my important purpose. This important purpose, because it's not yours, even, though this is a general reading, this is going to look differently for everyone because we are all unique, and we all have a unique voice and unique things to share. So that's really, really beautiful. Let's see what other messages we have for you, pile 1. A few more oracle cards to pull. All right, have compassion in this time for yourself and others. Okay, so big self-compassion, especially if you're feeling this Capricorn devil energy where, your subconscious is speaking to you, you're hearing messages, I'm not enough, I'm not, intuitive, I don't know if this is really my purpose, is this meant for me? Who am I to do this work? Flip that around. Who are you not to do this work? You're important. You're a wonderful reflection of the divine. And having compassion for yourself is really, looking at these sources of stress and allowing yourself to come back into balance. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, look for the overflow of abundance. So yeah, really shifting from the beliefs that might be, looking from a source of scarcity to using this 10 of Swords, changing your outlook and looking for the abundance, looking for where, the good things are happening. Very simple gratitude statements. They don't have to be anything magnificent, but, I'm just grateful for this day. I'm grateful for being alive at this time. I'm grateful for the opportunity to fulfill my purpose, or, whatever. I'm, grateful for the ability to, feed myself or, take care of my family, just anything that brings you, that looks at the positive side of things, can really shift your energy. And that doesn't mean that, you won't have periods where your thoughts are challenging. It's just trying to kind of shift those, shift your perspective when you feel that, when it's possible. So let's pull one last message for you, pile 1. It's the last message we have for pile 1. Clearly. Okay. All right. Look at this, another card, 23. Look at this, you guys. Oh my God, 23, distinctive potential. Rely on your faith and the knowledge that nothing is impossible. Use your determination to hang in there until you realize a goal, okay? Hang in there, baby. Like, this is meant for you. If you intuitively pick this pile, this is meant for you. All these majors, like, the universe is really sending this your way, and you're meant to receive it. Believe that. Shift how you're thinking about it, and how you have a right to be excited and really lit up from the inside about this journey that you're going on. So yes, root yourself and attune to your guides and your intuition, and all things in balance. But that's all I'm seeing for you, pile 1. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what pile you picked and how it resonated for you. Thank you so much for your presence, your time, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. And thank you for the collective guides and angels for providing these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to this channel for so that folks who benefit from the messages can find them. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, be extra gentle with yourselves, Pile 1, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, Pile 1. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. This is for the pile that picked the green quartz, which is for good fortune. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side, and we're going to look at what it is that you are not seeing clearly. So we're going to start with what archetype is getting activated for you right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, the Wanderer. And this is a spirit card. So this encompasses all of your chakras, really lighting up your aura and wanting to explore. So you might really want to, at this time, see the bigger picture, really see what's out there. You know, you might come from a really small town or haven't had the ability to really get out and see what's what the world, encompasses, outside of, your country or, your culture. Really, Sagittarian energy, right? Expansive. So I can really see at this point that you're really wanting to do that, and maybe feeling a sense of, claustrophobia a little bit is what I'm getting. Like you really can't get out the way that you want to, and that's perfectly valid. We are in a pandemic, even though, at the time of this recording, COVID is still a big thing, and there are restrictions, but they are getting loosened. But that still doesn't mean that it's necessarily safe to do everything that we want to do. But this is really getting activated for you. It's like almost an internal, wanting to really branch out. And it doesn't necessarily even mean physically. I really connect this card to Sagittarius and the 9th house because it really does speak to other cultures, and you can learn about other cultures, other beliefs, other, religions, expanding your spiritual knowledge. 9th house even rules astrology. This gives me big Aquarius vibes too, with 11th house, of really wanting to, explore what's out there in the collective, like your hopes and wishes being fulfilled. So that might be something that's getting activated for you under the surface that you're not necessarily seeing, but you might be feeling on the subconscious level or very subtly right now. Let's look at a question that's being posed for you. All right, and it says, there is strength in doing nothing. Wait, what have you been forcing, and how can you let go of the outcome? Okay, and that's really what I was feeling, a sense of a little bit of impatience or, not wanting to wait, that sense of, almost stuckness, like I don't want to be here anymore. I really want to see what's out there. And even in this card, this person is meditating, almost wandering and exploring on the astral plane. So really seeing what's out there. But the advice is not to force it, right? The Moon card, one of the lessons and the medicine of the Moon card is to learn to sit with really uncomfortable feelings, and sit with what we don't know, because eventually things will be revealed to us. The truth will be revealed to us. And we can really have an intuitive understanding of, any kind of situation that we're not necessarily seeing clearly. But it's a hard thing to do, right? And this card is a 6. At the time of this filming, we are in a 6th year, a universal 6th year, which is ruled by Venus and the Lovers. So I can really feel a striving and a yearning for a connection. But it's almost like with this wanderer energy, spirit and your higher self, your ancestors, your whole spirit team is asking you to do the hard thing in just waiting, rather than trying to make things happen, because eventually there will be a time where you will be able to explore on the more material plane. But at this time, there is value in, maybe exploring on the subconscious level, like the Moon card, so doing, wandering in dream work, wandering, you know, if we're thinking about the 11th house, you know, Uranus and Aquarius, you know, are very related to the internet. What ways can you be connected and, you know, get some of those needs met in a way that is not forcing, you know, forcing a situation that, you know, you really are meant to let go and surrender to divine timing is really what I'm feeling. You know, because all things happen when they're meant to, and you can't miss what's meant for you. You know, it will happen when it's meant to, is what I'm getting from these two cards. Like, you will have your chance to really reach out and explore. So what we're going to look at with your first tarot card is, what is it that you're not seeing clearly? Okay. And we got the 10 of Wands, and that is Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay, so yeah, that is exactly what I was feeling. I said Sagittarius energy, and Saturn is all about restriction, and, you know, we're talking about in doing nothing, you know, not forcing things, because it can lead to a sense of burden. You see how this person, you know, you can almost look at those hiking sticks as wands that they're using to propel themselves up a mountain to climb and explore. And this person in the 10 of fire, the 10 of wands, each of these matches, these wands are weighing them down, you know, are a source of stagnancy, a source of, you know, burden and restriction that holds them back from expanding. So in what ways are you subconsciously holding yourself back or adding more fuel to the fire that may be setting you back? You may not be seeing that clearly, where it might be that you feel like you're taking action towards a goal, but really you're meant to kind of, you know, sit with a certain, you know, situation and allow it to unfold, and not necessarily take action, but let spirit do its thing. Or, you know, if you've already planted seeds and done some work toward it, to kind of let it grow. You know, so fire can be really expansive, and it can get out of control. This feels like wildfire energy. And, you know, we need sometimes to tamp that down. So, you know, trying to kind of roll back the tape, as it were, to get to a place where you can kind of let go. You know, what have you been forcing, and how can you let go of the outcome? Saturn, you know, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, that sign. And, you know, Capricorn's a cardinal sign. I'm a Capricorn moon. I can tell you, cardinal signs and cardinal energy loves to make things happen, does not like to surrender to the outcome, wants to know, you know, what it's going to be, and to really make it happen, like, you know, use their will to make the outcome look like what they want it to. So it's like, do the opposite of that, because Saturn, if you don't pay attention to the lessons, I won't say that, you know, you're adding to a karmic backlog. It's more that, you know, it just is going to add further delay, further hardship to you. It's not giving you bad karma, but it's going to feel punishing, if that makes sense. So really, really pay attention to, you know, because this is in the position of what you're not seeing clearly, how you can lighten your load, how you can kind of unburden yourself from things that, you know, you're feeling responsible for, or taking on too much. Where can you simplify? Okay, so this next card is why it's stressing you out. Why is this 10 of Wands stressing you out? Okay, and we got the 7 of Swords, 7 of Air, and that's Moon in Aquarius. Okay, so I said something about Sagittarius energy. I also said something about 11th house Aquarius energy, that you might be feeling, you know, like, let me feel into this card. Because usually the 7 of Swords can be an energy where we feel like someone is tricking us or being dishonest. But also I see this as a need to be strategic, right? And it's stressing you out because with this energy of, you know, forcing and really trying to make a certain outcome happen, we can lose sight of the long game, right? We can kind of take our eye off of what the goal is, you know, and usually, miss the forest for the trees, if we're not really thinking, if we're playing checkers instead of chess, is really what I'm seeing with the Seven of Air. It's like the impatience of not wanting to think strategically, of wanting to just go, fire on all cylinders, move quickly. The Seven of Swords is asking, 7 is a number that connects to wisdom. Swords are our thoughts and communication. So really think about the ways that you can be really wise in the way that you think about a certain situation, or the way that you move in a certain situation, and the burdens that you're carrying, or the things that you choose to do that add more and more stress onto a situation that ends up being a further delay. What can you let go of? And you don't necessarily have to, with the Seven of Swords, tell everybody what you're planning. It's not necessarily a card of lying. You don't have to tell everybody everything, right? And that's where I think sometimes this card gets a bad rap of being like, someone's deceiving you, or you're being deceptive, or you're lying. It's like, no, it can be that, but it can also be like, I'm just moving in silence and, planning for the next step, not trying to force an outcome, but really co-creating with the universe. And, with this Seven of Air, like being, Aquarius is a visionary, envisioning what I really, really want for myself. The moon really speaks to our instinctual needs and wants. So it's like what I want for my future. I really, really see that, but it's like a source of stress is like the moon is our emotions. And when we get emotionally activated, sometimes we don't see so clearly, right? So there's a lot there of, just needing to really drop down into your emotions and understand your motivations. And that will really help you to submit to the divine's will. Because this is really all encompassing. This is a complete lighting up of your auric field, where you're meant to explore so many aspects of yourself and so many aspects of the collective, that it really, there's really no limits to what you can do, but it really is on you to have clear focus. And right now you may not be seeing, the ways that you're holding yourself back. So let's take a look at how to avoid burnout. Okay, and we got the Nine of Swords in reverse, more swords energy. So how to avoid burnout is we have Mars in Gemini. And let's look at this upright, because the Nine of Swords is really a card of stress and anxiety. And we can feel like we're all alone, and our thoughts are really just on the hamster wheel running away with us. Like, why isn't this happening? There's strength in doing nothing. But if you're forcing, like, I'm doing everything that I can, like I've tried this, I've tried that. Each of these wands is, a thing that you have really tried to implement to make something happen in your life, to get some movement, to, be able to be the wanderer that you want to be. To explore something, that you want to bring into your life. And, this can be really, each sword is just like, this has not worked out. This hasn't worked out. This hasn't worked out. There has to be something like, what's wrong with me? Because when we're in the Nine, we're feeling really alone. It's like, we can be really hard on ourselves. But in the reverse, how to avoid burnout, is really in connection, right? We have this Sixth energy, this Lover's energy, where maybe instead of being anxious all by yourself, you can share some of that, with a trusted person, because you're really burdened, and you're not seeing just how burnt out you are, because maybe you're used to being in this energy. Maybe you have Saturn and Sagittarius, and that might be, why this pile is calling to you. That's not necessarily true for everyone. We were all born at different times, but I'm just saying that, some of these placements might be indicators that, of why this pile was calling to you. But it just, being alone with your thoughts may not be the best way to avoid burning out, to avoid burnout. it's really going to keep you on that hamster wheel of trying to force a situation where you're meant to surrender. But if you have somebody that you can kind of work it out with, you know, so that could be another message from this Seven of Swords, where you're really keeping things to yourself. So different messages for different people. Maybe you're meant to express a little bit rather than keep some of those fears and anxieties to yourself, and that's adding to the pile of stress. You're really meant to share with someone, and, you know, go back to the Six of Swords, where you're allowing someone to be a space holder for you, to lighten the load, to you know, help carry some of that burden, be a support. And, you know, in turn, someone might need that support from you, but just like that mutual aid that you can, you know, seek in community with other people will avoid you. And it can help you recognize the ways that you can, you know, put some of these wands down, you know, and you don't have to do it all by yourself. So this last card is the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience. And didn't I say something about divine timing? Sagittarius. Okay, the Temperance card is all about divine timing. And here it says, and breathe. And I was saying something about meditation. So this card is really about having balance. Do you see how this person is out of balance? This person is also very out of balance. Even though this card is in the upright, they are upside down and about to drop all of these wands, just because it is just so overwhelming. But yeah, come back to your breath. This is a card also where you're meant to really rely on spirit. There's an angel in this card in the Smith Rider-Waite. It's a card of alchemy, of blending fire and water. So blending your passion, your emotions, but also allowing spirit to alchemize those, and, you know, rather than forcing, surrendering to the divine and asking for help. So even asking for help from your spirit guides through meditation. So wandering, you know, and seeking, you could be seeking, you know, through meditation as a way to learn how to surrender to, you know, when things unfold, and learning how to be patient as they unfold. So yeah, lots of Sagittarius, like fire and air energy. You might have those dominant in your chart if this is your pile, but again, not necessarily. If this pile called to you intuitively, it doesn't mean that you have to be an Aquarius, a Sagittarius, or, you know, an air placement. It's just something that, you know, could help you discern whether or not this is your pile. So let's go ahead and get some more Oracle wisdom. Let's see what else the Oracle cards have to say for you, pile 2. All right. Oh, and here we go. Wisdom, learning, joy, art, music. So what ways, you know, the number 6 is ruled by Venus, music, art, learn, all very Venusian. Sagittarius is really, you know, higher knowledge. What ways can you seek more pleasure, more wisdom through art, through music, ways that will get you out of your head and kind of into your spirit. This is a master number 29, which reduces down to an 11, and then also reduces down to 2. Is High Priestess and Justice energy. So you're meant to come back into balance and harmony, just like the Temperance card, and really rely on, you know, your intuition to let you know, tune in, you know. That is also, you know, 2 is ruled by the moon, when, you know, you're not necessarily seeing clearly how you are, you know, burdening yourself, or possibly the ways that, you know, other people might be putting burdens on you that you need to let go of and give back to them. That's also something, you know, with the 6 Lovers energy, that, you know, there might be people in your life that, you know, are giving you more tasks, more things to do, and it might not necessarily have anything to do with you, or, you know, it could be something that they need to, you know, seek elsewhere, you know, but they're used to you saying yes, and, you know, maybe having some boundaries with Saturn, you know, that might be what you need to do, is put up some boundaries. Like, no, I'm not available for that. And that's okay. You know, because you don't need to be completely burnt out taking care of things that are not yours to carry. And there's wisdom in that with this moon in Aquarius. All right, so what other messages do we have for pile 2? All right. Okay, we have bright, heart, light, open connections, and this is 18, reduces down to a 9, which is the Hermit. That is, again, a card, you know, which speaks to wisdom. But really, I mean, do you see how this energy is coming from the heart on this this person? Radiating from your heart center, not so much from your head, and allowing, you know, this temperance, everything in balance, not really, you know, allowing, what is it that it's like right on the edge. There's so many messages coming through, but, you know, not allowing yourself to be closed off, you know, open connections. And that's what I was feeling with this Lover's card, you know, this 6 energy with the 10 of Wands. It's like, if there are people in your life that rely on you too much, or in a way that is you taking on responsibilities for them that they can do themselves, or they should, you know, have a specific person or pay for a certain thing, and they're using you as like a free therapist, or, you know, a delivery service or whatever, that's not an open connection, right? Relationships are meant to be equal give and take, you know, and that could be something where it's kind of like dampening, you know, or closing up your heart chakra, making you feel used. And that's not something that you want to really allow in your auric field. I mean, there are some times when relationships aren't on equal give and take, you know, that's just natural. But if there is a certain relationship or relationships in your life that, you know, have a pattern of constantly taking, and, you know, making you feel depleted, that's something that you really need to consider. Like, is this something that, you know, is this person loving me, tending to my heart the way that I want to be loved? You know, is this person good for me? Is this situation good for me? Because that could be something that is also a burden. I'm seeing lots of green here where, you know, that could be big heart chakra blockages. So let's go ahead and look at some more oracle cards. Let's see, what other messages do we have for pile 2? Whoa, okay, just falling down. Let's get some more messages for pile 2. What else does pile 2 need to know? All right. First quarter moon in Taurus, release control. What have you been forcing? Yes. Can you let go of the outcome? So yes, really learning how to let go, put some of those burdens down, and, you know, letting go of some of those worries too, that might be binding up your heart chakra. Yeah, but there is wisdom and discernment, really, really important for you right now in this more green, more heart chakra energy. How can you really live more heart-centered? Very important for you, pile 2. It's really feeling like, you know, you might be overwhelmed with a certain situation. It could be at work. It could be, you know, in your family and any kind of one-to-one relationship, or just, you know, in your everyday life, you know. This number 6, you know, it could be related to the 6th house of your daily routine, you know, just feeling overburdened. And, you know, how can you lighten your load and release some control of, like, things have to go this way. Sorry if that was loud. What else do we have? Okay, first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Yes, not so much air energy with this moon in Aquarius, 9 of Swords and 7 of Swords, where it's really burdening you and closing down your heart chakra. But you're really meant to honor your feelings. See, we've got, you know, blue here and lots of green opening your heart chakra. But yeah, it starts with you feeling like you're worth it, that you deserve to be honored in relationships, that your self-worth, that you deserve good things in your life, right? You picked the green quartz, which is good fortune. You deserve to have abundance in your life that allows you to wander and travel if that's what you desire. You deserve to have abundance and good fortune in your relationships. So it's really about allowing that energy and really changing what it is that you believe, and the anxiety and worry that might keep you stuck. So really important, pile 2. Right, let's get a mantra for you. Let's see what mantra might help pile 2. Clearly. Okay, it's one that came right on top. Okay, celebrating simplicity. Okay. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Simplify. Saturn and Sagittarius. So you might want to take a screenshot of that. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Let go of some of those burdens. If there are people that are, giving you stuff that's not yours, definitely important for you. Okay, let's see what other messages that we have. Okay. Now is the time to pause and reflect before acting. Okay. These are repeating messages. Okay. Are you hearing this, pile 2? This is your guides. This is your spirits, your ancestors coming through. Pause and reflect. Temperance, divine timing, really release control. You don't have to act right away. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Connect to the divine and find the magic within. So yes, doing some of that meditation, especially with this spirit card, and he's meditating in this card, or they're meditating. I'm sorry, don't mean to gender the cards. But connecting to the divine really does, have an element of releasing control, right? We can't have the divine submit to our will, right? We have to be able to surrender and allow for open connections, right? Bright heart light, open, really work on that heart chakra energy. And then, really, you are magic, really, with this find the magic within. And the divine really wants to help you find your magic, especially if you're feeling overburdened, because fire energy is magical. It just is. Just like the Queen of Wands, like she is the witch of the tarot, and you might feel like you have lost your magic with the Saturn and Sagittarius, but you may not know why, and that's why you can't see it clearly. But you may not be seeing your relationships clearly. So let's get some more messages for pile 2. More thing that pile 2. Okay, card 21, enjoy the journey, wanderer. Okay, stay present and flexible. Many changes are going on for you and around you. These changes are not only good, but necessary. Bring your awareness into the now rather than focusing on the past or future. Stay present. Meditate, bring yourself in, let go of this 9 of Swords energy. This is how you avoid burnout, is really balancing out your mental space. Calling in supportive, open connections, honoring your feelings, and releasing control. Your guides really want to help you with that. And there might be an element of, learning some different techniques, touching in with your joy and, doing some art, meditation, music, anything that kind of brings you into, enjoy the journey, joy, into a space of really feeling that sense of joy. So that is all I'm seeing for you, pile 2. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what pile you picked and how it resonated for you. I want to thank you for your presence, your time, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. And thank you to all the collective guides and angels for these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with folks who could benefit from the messages. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye, Pile 2. Hello, Pile 3. This is for the pile that selected the rose quartz. I'm just going to set that to the side. So what is it that you're not seeing clearly? What we're going to do first is look at the archetype that's getting activated for you right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We got the Illuminator, and this is connected to the third eye chakra. So this is really a call for you to do some third eye chakra work, because you're meant to, I'm really getting Leo sun energy. The sun, we're talking about the moon card where we can't see things clearly, right? The sun is where everything is illuminated, and you're meant to be an illuminator, a seer. That's really what I'm seeing right now, is that, nothing really can get past you. But this is getting activated for you. So it's like you might be feeling subconsciously, moon energy is very subtle, and it's below the surface, and you may not understand why you're feeling the way that you feel. But this is something that spirit and that your guides are really calling, for you to really activate, and they're activating it for you. But it's like, it will be revealed to you in time, because that's what moon energy is. It's sitting with what we don't know and allowing it to be revealed to us. So it's like you might be feeling this subtle energy of, I know something, in my body or in my bones, or just intuitively, and I don't understand why I know it yet, but it will become clear. That's really what I'm feeling, and I will see it, and I will be able to share it with the world. That's really the Illuminator's energy, is to be a seer. So that's what's getting activated for you right now. And let's look at the question that Spirit is posing to you. Okay, you got card 38, which reduces down to an 11, which also reduces down to a 2, High Priestess energy. The collective field is impacting you. Unseen forces in action. Look, Illuminator, I said you might be feeling it. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? It's like you may not understand right now, but what happens with the sun, is that all is revealed after we go through that period of discomfort in moon energy, because that's what this reading is based on. So you may not be seeing clearly a certain situation, but you really might be feeling it with your intuitive, self in the more subtle realms, on the more subconscious level, and the High Priestess, energy that's coming through with this 38 card, and also Justice, which calls for balance, is like saying that on a subtle level, everything that's going on with the collective is impacting you, and unseen forces really are in action that are making things happen, that you will be able to see and understand in time. But how can you let go? Because the moon does ask us to let go and sit with what's unknown, rather than trying to control the situation, and that could lead to further blockages, rather than, going with the flow and surrendering. The moon is Pisces energy, it's water energy, just allowing yourself to sink down into your subconscious. We have more third eye chakra energy, more violet here, but we also have red. Look at this bright lipstick, red lipstick and the flames, that is root chakra energy. So grounding yourself, giving yourself a sense of a stable base, so that whatever is impacting you, especially if it's of a more unsafe, negative nature, because let's be real, there are, beings and entities that are not in our highest and best, that you can, feel safe and grounded and protected and rooted in the fact that any unseen forces that are not in your highest and best, that they can't touch you if you are protected, if you're doing protection work. Because the illuminator, eventually, when this is fully activated for you, you will be able to see and discern. But right now, it's like you're really in an incubation period where you're not able to really feel out the differences in these energies. And you don't want anything in your auric field that can block you or, cause harm. So really, really pay attention to that. So now we're going to jump into your tarot spread. And the first tarot card is what you're not seeing clearly. So let's look at that, pile 3. All right, and we got the 2 of Swords in reverse. And didn't I say something about the Justice card? This card is ruled by the moon in Libra. I said something about reducing this down to the High Priestess, which is ruled by the moon. And then the 11, because 3 plus 8 is 11, that is also the Justice card, which is Libra. So look how synchronistic that is. It's wild. But the 2 of Swords in reverse, what you're not seeing clearly is that, there might be 2 paths that you have like a choice to make. Like, do I go left or do I go right? It's almost like that Robert Frost poem. 2 paths, diverge in the woods, and I take the road less traveled by. It's like, which way which way is my intuition directing me to? What path is being illuminated for me? And I can't quite see that. And it can lead to a little bit of emotional imbalance, right? Libra is all about balancing the scales and being in alignment. The moon is our instinctual emotions. So really wanting to fuse a sense of our intuition with logical thought and have all of that in balance so that we can see clearly, right, with this illuminator energy. Because there are unseen forces in action, we really have to be able to rely on our intuition and then discern logically, be able to process logically what it is that we're feeling. But you're not able to see clearly because you feel really imbalanced, and it might feel very uncomfortable. If you have certain flashes of insight or, certain feelings or, that make the hair on your neck or your arms stand up and you don't know why this is happening, or, it can really throw you out of balance, make you feel uncomfortable. Like, ooh, do I want this? Maybe I don't, that's the sense that I'm getting. And what you're not seeing clearly is that if you're throwing yourself too far into logically trying, let me get some water. If you're throwing yourself too far into over mentalizing, because we can do that sometimes, when our third eye is getting activated, we're meant to see with our intuition, not necessarily with, over logical, or throwing ourselves too far into our emotions and getting swept out to sea that, you may not be able to see clearly that, you're really, what choice it is that you want to make, what path you're meant to take. And, with the moon present here, that really does speak to, with these unseen forces. Those unseen forces are also your spirit team, how they're trying to speak to you, right? This is 2 of air. So, moon in Libra, they are sending you messages. But if you're not in alignment, if your emotions are kind of running away with you and you're feeling out of balance, you may not be able to see the situation. Your intuition might feel very, very blocked. It shuts down your force field to the positive influences that might be wanting to come through. But it's like in this moon energy, you can't even see how, far out to sea you are, and that you're really trying to reach for land, or reach for an answer. But your intuition does know the way, because that is what the 2 of Swords upright says. It's like you're blindfolded so that you're listening and looking and trying to see, not with your physical eyes, but with your third eye, and not relying on your eyes, but listening to spirit, listening to what your heart says as well, with the moon present, moon in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. So, that is very heart centered. So what is it your heart says? Really, really paying attention to that. So the next card is, why is this Two of Swords in reverse energy stressing you out? Okay, and we got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And what this says to me, okay, this is another Venus card, Mercury in Taurus. It's like, it's making you feel like you are not enough, is what I'm getting the sense of. Like, I don't have enough, I'm not enough, there's no support for me, because in the Smith Rider-Waite card, the traditional card, the people that are in the card that look really destitute, they're walking in front of a church, which is a symbol of, support, and they're not looking at it, they're walking past it, that you really do have support around you, but you may not feel like you do. Or even with Taurus, our values, are you valuing yourself? Do you feel like you deserve to be supported? Or do you feel like you deserve to be left out in the cold? It's almost like what's stressing you out is that maybe with this in the reverse, it's like you are seeking support, but you can't see where to look, or where is it? I'm trying to find it. Like that, maybe that's why it's in the reverse, is that you are seeking it, but it's like, who's showing up for me? Where is it? When will it be illuminated? It's unseen, and it's really, you feel blocked by the universe, and that can really be stressful, especially if it's like, I'm really trying to allow this, allow this energy in, but I don't know if there's any help for me. Like, where do I go and who is there for me? So yeah, you might be feeling really iced out by the universe, but what you're not seeing clearly is that your guides, your ancestors, they are speaking to you. It's just that you might not know how to tune in quite yet. So that's really a source of stress for you, but this is confirmation that, they are trying to put you on your path. You just may not know it yet. So this next card is how to avoid burnout. And look, we have 3 Venus cards here, okay? We have the Empress. The Empress is all about being open to receive on the material plane, but from the universe. The Empress is a card of abundance, of expansion, of really feeling like we deserve the best, right? The best that of what anyone or anything has to offer. And in this Five of Pentacles in reverse energy, it's like you're seeking, but maybe why, another reason that you feel stressed is that it's like, I'm asking for help, but do I feel like I really deserve to be helped? Like, is this, am I asking out of real need? And, or is this something that I could really handle all by myself? And what I want to tell you is that there is no shame ever in asking for you to get your needs met. You ask for help and ask safe people. There are resources everywhere. And if someone, in your life that you are used to showing up for and being there for, because Venus energy is about relationships, right? It's about one-to-one. Like, I show up for you. Are you there for me? If you're used to giving and not receiving, that's a big red flag, that a source of stress could be like that, no one is showing up for me in my time of need, but I'm there when they need me. And how to avoid burnout, or, could be different messages for different people, that people do want to help me, but I have a hard time accepting help. That this Empress card is saying, like, don't burn yourself out by neglecting or abandoning yourself by rejecting help. Be receptive. You are just as deserving of abundance as the next person. and the collective field, I see this, the collective field is impacting you. It's like there could be, resources that are allocated for, collective, groups. If you're a part of a marginalized community, if you are homeless, if you are trans, if you're part of the LGBT community in any other way, if you are disabled, any of those, identities, whatever you identify as, there are so many resources that are available. It's really important to seek them out and seek support. It's not a sign of weakness, is really a message that's coming through right now. And kind of with this illuminator energy, it's a realization of what you deserve as a human being, as, a reflection of the divine, that you deserve to receive. So this last card is the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience. And we have the Emperor in reverse. And this is ruled by Mars. And what I see is, the Emperor in reverse, the Emperor upright is really setting a foundation of, of knowing yourself for one, and really setting a foundation on which to build for the future. And what I'm seeing here with the Emperor in reverse is that the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience is that, building a foundation on sand, you see how there's sand in this card? That building a foundation on sand won't ever serve your highest and best. That it really is important to think about what you're trying to build, or what kind of future it is that you want to see, especially if you're trying to figure out what your path is in life, what it is that you want to expand into. Threes are a number of expansion. Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus wants things that are meant, to last. So really setting your foundation on solid ground is the wisdom that you're gaining, where maybe in the past, this was what you were more used to, was, that maybe, it's like, this is what I can expect for now. So this is what I'm going to, do, because that's all that I can expect, is like this quick fix. And, this will get me from, this month to this month, or, from Sunday to Sunday. That's something that I remember from when my sister was in the military, getting through boot camp. She said, that's how they would survive, chow to chow, Sunday to Sunday. And that could be the way that you were living your life, like struggling, paycheck to paycheck, and really learning to love yourself, and setting a foundation of, really valuing yourself with all of this Venus energy. You selected the pile with the rose quartz on it, really important. And that's what's being illuminated for you right now. And that's really big for the collective right now as well, where I see like the collective field is impacting you. At the time of this filming, we're in a collective 6th year, which is ruled by Venus. So really asks you to consider, what your values are, how you value yourself in connections, in relationships, and, what your values are, politically, in service to others, in the way that you receive, in so many ways. But really don't block your blessings is what I'm hearing. And that you may not see the way that you undervaluing yourself really does block your blessings, and it doesn't set a good foundation for you that's meant to last. Because you are valuable, pile 3. We all have value in this life. And if anybody has ever made you feel less than, or that, you don't have as much value as someone else because of this or that, because you have a disability, because, you weren't born middle class or upper class, or, because you're trans, or because, you are poly, you're not into, traditional relationships, what have you, that is not true. We are all as unique as our fingerprints, and no one is more or less deserving than the next person of a comfortable life. We all deserve to have, to be valued in society as well. So really, really seeing that, and, it's really important for you to believe that about yourself as well, because it'll ripple out into your relationships and affect the way that people treat you too. If you value yourself, if you set your foundation, no one else can put any labels on you that affect what you believe about yourself. Very important for you, pile 3. Let's see what other messages that we have for pile 3. Okay, and here we go with a card 6. Angelic assistance, divine guidance, loving support. What did I say about this 2 of Swords in reverse? You're not seeing clearly that your spirit team really is trying to contact you and support you at this time. And look, that you do deserve loving support. You deserve divine guidance. You deserve to receive all of those things with all of this Venus energy. And that is something that with this Illuminator energy, you will be able to see eventually once you get past this period of moon energy. And this might be something that you carry forward and is kind of your life path that you're seeking and trying to, you know, with this 2 of Swords, clarify, like, what is it that I'm on this earth to do? That you might be an angel for other people who are seeking support and assistance, who don't have somebody in their life that, you know, can provide for them, or, you know, where they know to look and go to for support. You might be an earth angel, you know, that really is a channel for the divine that illuminates other people's paths. So I really do see that for you, pile 3. Let's see what other oracle card we have for you. Okay, and here we go. Divine feminine, magnetic, receptive power. What did I say about being open to receive? And even if you are, you know, a male, female, it doesn't matter. We all have masculine, feminine, gender neutral energy within us. This just means that you're able to draw what you need to you, that you won't have to work so hard. You won't have to feel like you're out in the cold and you don't have what you need. That you're deserving of receiving from others and from the universe. And you may not see that yet, but it is, you know, this energy is impacting you. You know, so really allowing yourself to sink in and, you know, accept, you know, that receptivity, your receptive power, is important. Get in touch with, especially if you're used to more expressive masculine energy that is do for others and action oriented, which, you know, that's another reason, you know, this Aries card might be in the reverse. You know, it's Mars energy, that you're really meant to sink into that Venusian receptive power, that you have that. You may just not understand how to wield it yet, but you have it in spades with all this Libra, with all this Venus, excuse me. All right, so let's see what other oracle cards we have for you, pile 3. But yeah, you're like a super attractor. You just don't understand that yet. You don't see it. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We got last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. Okay, so more Aries, like really dropping into your feelings about yourself. What is it that you feel about your self-worth? Allow yourself to do some inner child work, really. You know, the last quarter moon in Aries is when, let's see, the sun is in Capricorn. And no, I'm sorry. I think the sun is in Cancer. I'm sorry. You know what? Just scratch that, because I'm trying to think about it and it's not coming to me. But, you know, the sun should be in Cancer. And yes, the moon is in Aries. But yeah, Cancer sun, like really drop down in your feelings. It is working on the root. You know, Cancer is related to the 4th house. So, you know, really, like I was sensing, you know, what attitudes about yourself were implanted on you from childhood, and working through those feelings to come to value yourself, to know yourself, And, you know, that way no one else can put any labels on you if you really understand who you are on a fundamental level and, you know how you feel about yourself. No one can tell you who you are if you know who you are. All right, now let's see what other card we have. Oh. All right, last quarter moon in Sagittarius. Practice gratitude, okay? And gratitude invites more abundance. You know, Venus energy, we're receptive and magnetic. What we put out is also what we draw to us. So, you know, simple gratitude statements, it, you know, is really what it's asking for. And lots of patience and grace with yourself. Sagittarius is related to our beliefs, our higher beliefs. So it's like, what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about what you deserve? And really be grateful for, you know, everything that you are, really, with this Aries energy, with this Empress energy, that you are wonderful. If you don't feel that way, that you're deserving of loving support, and be, you know, grateful for support when you receive it. And I'm sure that you will. I feel like I'm preaching to the converted already with that energy, but, you know, really just, it really attracts more of what it is that you're seeking when you come from an energy of more gratitude. And that doesn't mean that you have to be grateful in every single moment. Let me be clear about that. Or that you're doing it wrong if you're not, you know, in a constant state of gratitude. It's about practice, right? It's not about perfection. We're always growing and learning. So really important for you, pile 3. And let's get a mantra for you. Let's see, what's a mantra that pile 3 can? Okay. Look at that. Honoring adversity. Okay. And I was feeling really, you know, hardship, you know, type of energy. And it says, a fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. So that's it. Unseen forces, and really, you know, your path is being illuminated for you. A fire reveals a path. Didn't I say that with this moon in Libra? It's almost like, you know, do I go this way or that way? You will see it once the burning is complete. Like the moon eventually, you know, will set and the sun comes out, and you'll see everything clearly. Just allowing for, in the meantime, you know, to work through your feelings and be open to receive divine guidance and support. Lovely, lovely, pile 3. Okay, let's get some more oracle guidance for you. Hold on. Before we do these, let me get some of these. That's right. Okay, more guidance for pile 3. Okay. Be honest with yourself and stay in alignment with who you are. Aries energy, know who you are and be honest with yourself. And that's why I said work through your feelings. If you know who you are, nobody else can put a label on you. Nobody else can tell you, and you can be in alignment. Libra energy. Libra is opposite Aries as well. So it's like looking at and seeing yourself clearly, you know, will keep you in balance. All right, let's see what else we got for you, pile 3. Okay, look for hidden patterns. Look with your third eye, not with your physical eyes, but look for the hidden pattern. Look, unseen forces in action. But yeah, just really, really allow divine guidance and ask for assistance tuning in. That will be really important for you. So let's grab one last oracle card and see what your crowning message is. Ooh, that really wanted to fly out. Okay. And we got another, look, 24 reduces down to a 6. Okay. Love where you are. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect your heart to your head, moon in Libra, when determining what you would like, because you deserve to have what you would like, pile 3. Okay. This is so aligned. Okay, you're a sensitive soul, and you know the world, I really feel, has knocked you down several times, but if it's knocked you down 9 times, I feel like you can get up 10 times. You know, it's all about, you know, just doing what it takes, and, you know, really a sense of humility, like being humble enough to allow support. And there's a lot of self-love and grace that comes from that, and really tending to the parts of yourself that didn't get their needs met, even at the earliest age, because that can affect, you know, how we feel about ourselves and what we deserve. So love anywhere you are on your journey. Love where you are and appreciate every part of it. Yeah, and connect heart to head. Really, your feelings matter. Your thoughts matter. You matter. So that is all I'm seeing for you, pile 3. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what pile you picked and how it resonated for you. I want to thank you for your time, your presence, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. And thank you to all the collective guides and angels for these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with folks who could benefit from the messages. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye, pile 3. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. This is the pile that chose the Apatite, which is great for connection. And I'm just going to set that over to the side. So what is it that you are not seeing clearly? What we're going to do is start with the archetype that's getting activated for you right now. So let's take a look at that. And we have the Prodigy. So this is a spirit card. It contains all of the chakras. It's a rainbow card. So it really is lighting up and activating the part of you that is naturally good at something. It might be something that you look back on as a kid and it's like you were a natural and nobody could do it quite like you. And you might not have seen it as anything special just because, you know, it might have come so natural and so easy to you. But it's like almost a reclamation time for you of, you know, what it is that your divine purpose is. It's almost like this was carried over. I'm getting the energy from a past life, which is why you know, came to this life at such an early age and were good at whatever this is. And it's going to look different for all of you because this is a general reading, right? But it is the energy of like you were a prodigy and whatever you touched, you know, you were just amazing at it. So that's really, really awesome that your guides, your spirit team, your angels, your ancestors are really in the background activating this for you at this time. And you might feel some subtle waves of that, or like some internal subconscious messages. That's why this pick a card is based on the moon card, right? Because we can't always see things clearly or understand. It's not for us to know. It's really for us to lean on dealing with, you know, sitting with what's unknown and sitting in the uncomfortability of that and really leaning on intuition, right? So this really is something that's, you know, not just getting activated, but reactivated for you. It could be that, you know, these were gifts that you had that you might have shut off, that you were awakened to from a very early age that, you know, might have brought about a sense of fear or a lot of activation. And that's why all of these colors are present. It's like your aura was very, very strong, and it might have been something that as a young person was very scary to you. So I'm getting a lot of messages there, and, you know, different things might apply to different people, but let's go ahead and look at the question that Spirit is asking you to kind of absorb and consider at this time. And we have card 41. Gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? Okay. And this to me, like I was saying, you know, seems like an early gift, something that was, you know, bestowed on you that you really didn't have to earn. It was just so natural, you know, and that it could have really scared you. And what I'm getting here, yeah, with that, you know, gratitude is the life force of peace. It's like, you know, almost like you couldn't really be grateful for it because it was so scary. But this reawakening of this gift, it's like you're really going to feel different about it when it is, you know, fully manifested for you, and you'll be thankful for it and really cherish the fact that it is so unique, and that it's something that you're really good at, because I have the feeling that it's really meant to be used, not just for you, but for the collective. This is card 41, which reduces down to a 5. There's correspondence with the Hierophant card, which really talks, deals with themes of, spiritual knowledge, and spiritual teaching. It also deals with social systems, everything that we encounter after the 4, the foundation of the 4 in the Emperor, of getting to know who we are. And I know I said this in another pile, so if you picked another pile and you've heard this message, then that might, this might be intuitively why you picked this pile as well. But yeah, Hierophant energy, like you are in touch with occult knowledge, spiritual knowledge, that really is meant to transform systems, because the Hierophant deals with government, it deals with, religion, it deals with all kinds of things. And it really corresponds with Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and our values. So, it's like really changing value systems that align with what is good for all mankind, not just for the wealthy and the the able-bodied, cis, straight, white majority. But, I feel that really, with this all-encompassing, there's so many colors here. It's, it reminds me of the pride flag. Like, I'm really seeing that right now, of just, being somebody who is a channel for embracing the all, and inviting people to embrace and be proud of, all aspects of themselves. So really big call, really big energy. And you might be feeling this internally, but you can't see it clearly right now, because it's something that is kind of working for you. It's not happening, to you. It's meant to be put on your path. But let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards. So the first placement is what it is that you're not seeing clearly. So let's look at that. Wow. Okay. And here we have the Fool. Okay. So this is really, it's ruled by Uranus. And what did I say? Like, being a voice for the collective. Uranus is the ruler of the 11th house, which is the collective consciousness. And the Fool asks us to take a leap, to say yes to ourselves. The Fool is, if we think about the stages of human growth and development, the Fool is the child, so that really corresponds with this prodigy energy. It's like, taking a leap, knowing that, the universe will catch you, and trusting your gifts. But it's like this card's relation to the star is very, very important, because there's an element of being a healer to the collective. The star comes after the Tower. The star is ruled by Aquarius, which is Uranus's, correspondence astrologically, the zodiac sign that corresponds to Uranus. So there really is a big call to be part of the collective healing process. And I was talking about the Hierophant, and actually, Taurus, is the ruler of the Hierophant. That is where Uranus is in its fall. And that's currently where Uranus is transiting at the recording of this video. And it has been, it will be for a while, because that is one of our outer planets that transit, it moves slower than the inner planets. But that was where I was feeling like, you are really someone who is meant to transform some of those systems from a place of, really having so much divine knowledge that was carried over from past lifetimes. It's like, maybe you've been told before that you were an old soul, because within you carry lifetimes worth of wisdom from previous incarnations. And, the Fool is really asking you to leap into being a channel for the future, like the future that you want to see. What are you thankful for? It's like, what is it that you want to see in the future that can benefit the whole? And that is where you will really feel a sense of peace and gratitude. See, gratitude is the life force of peace. And it's like, that's what you're striving for, is to be the voice of change, which is very Uranus, very Aquarian. And you might have those flashes of insight, and they might dissipate as quickly as they come to you. And that might be why this full energy seems to kind of evade you at this time, because this is what you're not seeing clearly about yourself, is that, yeah, you're meant to really be the person who is at the forefront of possibly a movement, possibly of a collective group, of a social justice movement, and the Fool takes a leap, just trusting that things will work out. But it's like, I feel like with this Prodigy energy, it's almost like the Fool plus, the Fool plus all of the wisdom that's come before. It's like you've incubated and been through all of the cycles where, at the end of the Major Arcana, you've experienced that Saturn world moment that comes from card 21. And then in this life, here you were reborn as the Fool, but the Fool Prodigy, if that makes sense, like carrying that Saturn knowledge, Saturn wisdom along with you. So that's really powerful, pile 4, really, really powerful. So the next card that we're going to look at is why this Fool energy that you can't see clearly right now is stressing you out. So why is this a source of stress for you? Okay, and we got the 4 of Cups, or 4 of Water, and that is the Moon in Cancer. And to me, what this says is that the fact that you can't see clearly, Uranus is very unstable energy, right? It's also the planet of big shocks, like sudden breakdowns and breakthroughs, that there might have been sudden events, that happen over the course of your life that just completely upturned, like all of a sudden, it seemed like things were going well, and then boom, something happened that completely shook you up. That's Uranus at work. 4s, this is the 4 of Cups. Any 4 in the tarot is about stability and structure, and Cancer is also related to the 4th house of our roots, where we come from, our sense of stability. So it could be that, it's stressing you out because you really like to be in a state of emotional comfort, in a state where it's like, what to expect. And this offering, this 4th cup here, where normally in the Smith Rider-Waite, the person in the card is focusing on these 3 cups, and the universe is offering them this gift of the 4th cup. It's like almost this gift of reawakening this Prodigy energy. It's like they're focused on, the past, or, holding on to what feels safe and secure for them, and not necessarily exploring what's new. So it's like when these Fool moments happen, when this Uranian energy, almost like a lightning bolt comes and strikes you, and you're not ready for it, it really could throw off your emotional center. And that's really what I'm feeling there, that's a really big source of stress for you. And what I would suggest, and we're going to get to how to avoid burnout in the next one, but is to be a little bit more emotionally fluid. Cancer is the sign of the crab, has a very protective outer shell, but also, it's because they have a really soft inside. So allow yourself to kind of soften, if some of these, really hard experiences, some unexpected experiences, that you didn't see coming, it seems to be a repeating theme in your life. It's like you reach for more and more stability and you kind of harden your shell. My advice would be to kind of look for where you can create more spaciousness and create stability in a way that is not, that still maintains that softness, where you can still be vulnerable and open to what the universe has to offer you, right? To be thankful for some of the lessons, right? I don't believe that everything happens for a reason. I would never say that to anyone, especially when, really shocking things happen that upturn your life. I've been there, but sometimes being thankful for the lessons and the way that, almost, those terrible, sometimes really traumatic experiences have fortified you. It's like, the wisdom that comes from certain experiences, like it can't be taught in a book. And being that you're kind of meant to be a channel, meant to be a healer, meant to upturn systems is really what I'm seeing, is like you had to come by that. There's some really hard lessons. Like it wouldn't really have been possible if, say, you were a psychology major and you came from, some upper crust family and never really had to struggle a day in your life. And you're sitting across from someone who has, multiple intersections of oppression in their life, and you're trying to, explain to them and support them and show up for them. It's like it rings hollow, if that makes sense. It's almost like, the lessons that you have come by, and it's what you can't see clearly is that almost they were put on your path to lead you to your purpose, because really without living them, it wouldn't be possible for you to channel from an authentic place of like, I have lived this. It's not something that, I read out of a book. So let's go ahead and look at your how to avoid burnout. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is earth and air. Also, this is mutable air. So this is Virgo. And Virgo is very good at taking a practical approach to things. So what this is telling me is that there is a need to be more flexible. Like I said, with fours in the tarot, it's all about being very fixed and rooted. And this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Virgo energy is mutable, right? It's able to be changeable depending on what the situation calls for. So I really feel that this is in the reverse as a reminder to not be too rooted in one way of thinking, in one way of being, because this full energy is at work and at play in your life. Uranus, you're meant to take a leap. The Knight of Pentacles is the most rooted knight. Knights are about movement, but he is slow to move. He is a planner, and he takes very strategic steps. But maybe that is not your life path. You're really meant to be that lightning bolt. You're really meant to take leaps and trust the universe, trust that it will catch you. This is more of a practical type of energy. Virgo is very analytical, and it's like you're almost meant to not question and not ask why of spirit and just trust. It's almost like taking a trust fall and saying like, I am open to receive the message and, do what your ancestors, what your angels, all that are in highest and best that walk with you, the divine downloads that you get, just working with that energy and trusting that you're being divinely guided to move forward. And how it pays off in the collective is like what you feel inside. The sense of peace is where you will get that feedback, right? Like it's not going to come from staying rooted and stuck. So the last card, the tarot card that we're going to look at is the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience. Okay, and here we go with another Virgo card. Okay, we got the Nine of Pentacles, which is ruled by Venus in Virgo. And this is where Venus is in her fall. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is the opposite sign. It's a mutable sign as well. Venus in Pisces is all about expansion, right? About higher love, universal love. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. It's a higher octave of Venus. So it really is all encompassing. So really what I'm getting from this energy is that the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience is not to be so rooted in material comfort and in your own comfort, right? Because the Nine of Pentacles is like we've worked hard over a period of time, and we've really gained, material success for ourselves in the Nine of Pentacles. We've created a comfortable, safe space for ourselves as well. And it's come through very hard work. Doesn't mean that you won't have a lot of hard work to do, but what I'm feeling is that it's meant to not be so much for, you know, service of self, but service of everyone. And that's really what I was feeling with the Prodigy and this Fool energy. Uranus is the sign of the collective. Venus in Virgo, this Nine of Pentacles, is like, where am I comfortable? Where is my safe space? It's like you're meant to work towards the entire world, you know, the entire future, being a safe space for everyone, for every marginalized identity. You know, that way it's almost like the Nine of Pentacles isn't something that people have to work so hard toward, for anybody. It's like almost like eradicating that, or, you know, making it more accessible for everyone to reach their Nine of Pentacles moment, and then eventually their Ten of Pentacles moment, because not everybody can leave a legacy. You know, how are you supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you have no boots, right? It's like you're seeing beyond the illusions of what, you know, the capitalist culture that we have been indoctrinated into has taught us. It's like seeing beyond the lies, that wisdom that comes from lifetimes before. It's really powerful, Pile 4. So now what we're going to do is pull some more oracle cards and see what other information we have about this. So it's like, if you're not feeling this, this is definitely calling to you. And it's so aligned that Apatite was the crystal, you know, that was on the top of this pile, because, you know, this is universal connection, and Apatite is the crystal that is for fostering more connection. So it's like really, really aligned with that. All right, so let's see what other messages there are for Pile 4. Show me clearly. Okay, and we got card 15. Deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. Did I not say this comes from a past life? And really, this 15, it's related to the devil, right? 15 is the devil card in the Major Arcana. You know, don't allow yourself to, with this Moon in Cancer, 4 of Cups energy, don't shut out, you know, people. Don't shut out new experiences that might come your way, because of a fear of the unknown, because you can't see clearly what the path is for your future. It's being lit up and prepared for you. The way is being made for you, and it's carrying over. And, you know, with the moon energy, what you're not seeing clearly, it's like unknown feelings. Why do I feel this way? Like I said, why does this keep happening to me? Why are these shocking things? You know, why can't I get rooted and plant, you know, my feet in the ground? It's like, because you're meant to fly, you know, and that's coming from past lives, Pile 4. Let's see, and let's pull another card for you. Let's see what else we have for Pile 4. But that is just wild. I said past life influences, and there it is. Okay, and we got card 17, the star. It corresponds with the star, which is Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. Sacred action, decisive focus. So yes, like really focusing on gratitude. What are you thankful for? You know, focusing on, I would say, really tuning into the subtle realms. You know, decisive focus to me really feels like, you know, focusing on your emotions, but allowing them to flow, not staying rooted, right? The star card is about healing after the tower, after we've, you know, really had some big clearing out. You know, I was feeling that, like, you've had several tower moments happen in your life that have completely shaken shaken you, and it's like, you know, it was almost like forging a new chapter in your life. Like, you know, there was what came before and what came after these tower moments. It's like almost a bookmark in your life, you know, but several of them, you know, happening. So it's like choosing to focus on the lessons, the takeaway, the wisdom, and co-creating with spirit, so that you can really move forward in a way that is aligned with your purpose, taking sacred action, because this is a very sacred calling. That's why, you know, you have reincarnated several times, like perfecting and refining, you know, this path that you're on. So let's pull some more oracle cards. This is really amazing, pile 4. Like, okay, let's see what else we have for you. Okay. All right, full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. All right, so that is really asking you, you know, this Capricorn energy, really assess, you know, what it is that, you know, the Capricorn relates to the 10th house, right? And I said this had to do with your life purpose. It's opposite the 4th house, right? With Cancer. It's like a reality check of like where you've come from in past, excuse me, I had a little tickle in my throat, where you've come from in order to really see where it is that you're going when you shoot up to that 10th house, you know, where Capricorn is the natural ruler. You'll have a realistic expectation, but really it's really about expecting the unexpected is what I'm getting. But also with this Capricorn energy here, like the full moon in Capricorn, when there's a full moon in Capricorn, the sun is in Cancer and the moon's in Capricorn. So it's really that axis of, you know, our roots and where we come from versus where we are meant to go. So yes, really, really, you know, aligning and shooting towards almost like your north node, from your south node, getting that energy, whether or not, you know, the north node and south node are present here. It's almost like the 4th house is like your south node of where you've come from in past lives, and the 10th house is your north node of like where you're meant to reach in this life. So reality check of like your purpose is a divine one. Okay, what else do we have for you, pile 4? Okay, last quarter moon in Cancer, take a breather. Okay, here we go with last quarter moon in Cancer. It's another, you know, cardinal sign. Cardinals are initiators. Like I said, the sun is in Cancer in this card. If the moon is in Cancer last quarter, let's see, then the sun is in Libra, I believe. So all things in balance, you know, really balancing out your emotions and learning about yourself, you know, your identity, but, you know, not being too rooted and fixed, because we have a moon in Cancer here, but Libra is all about balance. So, you know, not being too stuck in your own ways that you can't be flexible, and also understanding about cause and effect. Like if I do this, I can expect this outcome. There is an element of wisdom there. So that is really, really beautiful. Let's get some more oracle cards. And actually what we're going to do first is pull a mantra. So what mantra is good for pile 4 to carry on this path? Or can they look? What mantra can they use for comfort at this time? Okay, and we got greeting wellness. It says, didn't I just say something about balance? Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. And that's it. You know, the Fool, 0 is infinite potential. Infinite miracles is really something that you are meant to, you know, bring into your life path. So balance in all things, not being too fixed and stuck with this earth energy and, you know, this moon and Cancer energy that, you know, is the 4 of Cups, very rooted and grounding your emotions so much that, you know, that ends up being too much of a focus. It's like, yes, all things, balance in all things. So let's get some more wisdom from your guides. More wisdom from pile 4. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, and we got walk away from it. So there might be someone or something in your life, and I'm definitely seeing that with this 15, you know, because it corresponds with the devil. And here we have full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is the ruler of the devil card. That you might have to walk away from certain relationships that are not aligned with your path. That could be these 3 cups in this moon of Cancer. You know, it could be 3 people, 3 situations. It could be, you know, it could be one of many things. It really depends on your specific situation. But there are certain things, you know, this Fool taking a leap that you really might have to leap away from, walk away from, and just trust that the universe has your back, that the divine is, you know, catching you, and be thankful for the lessons that those relationships, that those situations have taught you, and take that wisdom with you. But if it's not serving your highest and your best, then it's really not meant for you to carry it forward on your path, and just, you know, walk away. Use that wisdom. Okay, let's see what else we have for pile 4. All right, release the past as it is keeping you from the present. More moon in Cancer, that fixed energy, focusing on those 3 cups is not going to move you forward. This Knight of Pentacles, being too rooted, this Venus in Virgo, focusing on your comfort, really, you know, finding a safe space and staying there, really feeling that, you know, search for safety. Yes, we all want to feel safe, but if it's rooted in past traumas, there really might be some work that you need to do, and it could be Reiki work, it could be work with a therapist. It really will depend. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but you know, whatever ways that you can work with releasing the past, any cord cutting rituals, you know, whatever resonates for you, release the past as it's keeping you from the present. And it's really keeping you from walking into and leaping into the future. And it's like you might be so stuck in that story, rooted in it, that you can't see clearly that this is a chance for you to really move forward into a new cycle. But it's like, you know, the past is holding you back. So really, really be aware of that, pile 4, because you're not meant to stay where you are. There's way more out there that's meant for you. Okay, let's get a Oracle card for pile 4. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, and we got another card, 17. Star energy, safe and surrounded by love. Keep your heart open and know you are being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. Okay, that is everything, right? You don't need to you know, create this hard shell around yourself with this Cancer energy, pile 4. You don't need to isolate yourself with this Capricorn devil energy. Use that Capricorn energy to climb. Use this Cancer energy to really feel into your emotions. Use the Virgo energy to analyze how you can move forward into the future. But you're safe and surrounded by love, and just allow more of that into your life and allow more healing. You know, decisive focus and sacred action. It could be that you're taking sacred action towards more healing, bringing more energetic healing into your life so that you can also, you know, ripple that outward into the collective. That's really, really beautiful. So that's all I'm seeing for you, pile 4. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what pile you picked and how it resonated for you. I want to thank you for your presence, your time, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. Thank you to all the collective guides and angels for these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with folks who could benefit from the messages as well. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye, Pile 4. Hello, Pile 5, and welcome to your reading. This is for the pile that chose the Sodalite, which is for introspection. So I'm going to move this to the side. So what is it that you're not seeing clearly? So what we're going to look at first is the archetype that's getting activated for you. So let's go ahead and take a look. And we have the child. Okay, so this to me, these cards in black, this is actually a deck that I created. All of these are based on internal family systems therapy, where all of the black cards are different roles, different parts of ourselves that, you know, are asking for our attention, or, you know, are parts of ourselves that, you know, we act from and that need tending. There are different parts like our inner child or inner children, protector parts that, you know, run interference and protect those inner child parts, or, you know, exiled parts that we can't even access. There are so many, and the firefighters who run around and put out, you know, the emergency fires that happen when we're really feeling activated or threatened. So this to me, especially with moon energy where we're not seeing clearly, is almost like you're uncovering a part of yourself that was lost to you as a child, or uncovering memories that might have been suppressed from childhood, or reclaiming parts of yourself that you don't even know why or what was missing from you as a child. But this is getting activated by your spirit team, by your ancestors. I'm feeling very strong ancestral connection here, especially because this relates to your childhood and your inner child, that your ancestors are really asking, you know, or activating this for you to do some real deep inner child healing. So that is something that you might be feeling internally and not really seeing on the outside. It might be, you know, that you get certain feelings that come out of nowhere, like, you know, why am I triggered by this? Or, you know, why am I reacting so strongly to, you know, something that seems completely innocuous, or, you know, that I normally would have let roll off my back. It's like you're not seeing clearly the way that, you know, there are pieces and parts of yourself that, you know, might have been lost to you, almost like 12th house energy, where, you know, it's like ruled by Pisces, and we can't really understand, and we're trying really hard to access, you know, our memories that you don't know where it's coming from. And it's like spirit is really trying to come in and help you reclaim certain parts of yourself that were missing, or that you felt like you didn't get as a child. So let's look at a question that spirit is posing for you right now. And we got card 30. The how is in the now. What has your intuition been trying to tell you? Okay, and this card is a 30, which reduces down to 3. This is related to Empress energy. So when I see the child here, and, you know, we're talking about the Empress is like our material comforts and our receptivity. How are we open to receive? What ways did your inner kid not get their needs met as a child? You know, and when we're children, we don't really have the capacity always to question our caretakers, right? We just tend to accept things as they are, because we don't have any other experience to base it off of. So it's really, you know, we're talking about the moon, and the moon card in the tarot is really being able to sit with what's unknown, and also doing some deep subconscious work. So it's like your intuition, some of that 12th house energy has really been trying to speak to you. And with this, the how is now, it's like, almost like you're asking yourself, like, why now? Why am I feeling this? And, you know, how is this happening now? But it's like you're meant to really tune into your intuitive self, you know, and the mysteries will be revealed to you, but you can't really see clearly where these feelings are coming from. And it's coming from your own subconscious. And also I'm feeling really strongly from your ancestors that is something that it really could be healing for your entire family line. Like you could be doing healing work that ripples outward, you know, for your descendants, you know, and almost ripples backwards for your ancestors as well. So the how is now. It's like the now is past, present, and future. And your intuition is really trying to call you in to doing some of this child work, because these could have been situations that have repeated down throughout generations is what I'm feeling. So let's go ahead and jump into your tarot and see if any of that's reflected into the cards. So your first card is what you're not seeing clearly. And we got the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so the Lovers in reverse really does give me the same or similar energy of the Devil. You know, the Lovers is ruled by Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury was the god of messages, of communication, you know, and here we are with this in the reverse. The Lovers is a sacred mirror, and it's almost like you're feeling very isolated and alone, and you can't see clearly, you know, answers, you know, of why you feel certain triggers, why you cling to certain things, why certain things from the past, you know, really activate you, or, you know, trying to discern with, you know, this Gemini Mercury intuition, you know, intuitively, like when is your intuition speaking to you, and when is it that, you know, your anxiety or, you know, negative thought patterns that have been ingrained, you know, over your lifetime, you know, when is that speaking to you, or when is it truly, you know, intuition? You know, where can I really look for that? And it's almost like you're not seeing clearly that the Lovers is a mirror that you really can look to your environment. You can look to your relationships, your friendships, your family. You know, it's any sort of reflection for answers. It's like they're right in front of you, and you can clearly see them as long as you're paying attention, because you're receiving messages from every aspect of your life. You know, it's reflected in the neighborhood that you come from, in the neighborhood you currently live in the relationships that you've had, platonic, romantic, business relationships, in the work that you do, that, you know, those things, what you have either gotten your needs met or not been met, that your inner child needs, the answers are right in front of you. It's almost like, you know, there's a fog right in front of your face. I can feel it. It's like, you know, looking through a, you know, a misty, you know, like a foggy mirror. And it's like, you really have to kind of rub away or close your eyes, and you see how, you know, her headdress here, it's really lying over her third chakra, her third eye chakra, and, you know, draped over the crown. It's like, you know, the messages really are coming to you, and it's really, you know, on you with this Empress energy to receive them, to be open to receive, because if you're closed, it may be that, you know, you're searching in the dark, and that's why you can't see and maybe feel anxious. So let's look at your next card, which is why this Lovers in reverse energy is stressing you out. Okay, and we got the Eight of Cups in reverse, which is Saturn in Scorpio. So that might be a placement that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but the Eight of Cups is a card of transition. it's a card of moving on from something that might have felt safe or comfortable at one point, but we really, take a leap of faith and walk forward, almost like the hermit on their path to something better that is a wish fulfilled, that really fills up our cup. And what may be stressing you out, I see with this Eight of Cups in reverse, is that it's almost like being stuck in the past, being stuck in trauma and not feeling like you can move forward. That's why I was feeling like this devil energy. Devil can really cloud your ability to see, right? Because the devil thrives on your fear, on lies, on, the ways that they can keep you entrapped in stories about yourself that aren't true. So it's like, it's a source of stress because you might feel trapped. Your inner kid might feel trapped and exiled, almost like, can you see me? Can you hear me? Wanting to feel seen, wanting to be heard, and needing to get that need met so that you can move on. But it's almost like you can't do that until certain parts of your story, certain parts of your upbringing are acknowledged, and truly, you are seen by, those that might have hurt you or experiences that were painful, that it kind of keeps you rooted in that fear and stress and isolation. So really important for, that inner child to be seen and protected, but not hidden away. So really, really important that with this lover's energy that, since you can't see it clearly, the message for you is to turn it upright and, seek safe relationships outside of yourself where you can be seen and heard. Mercury is, Gemini is communication, where your voice is valued, and relationships where people, really do care about what it is that you have to say, and that honor your experiences, because that is an important part of you moving forward into the next phase of your life. If not, it's going to feel always like there's this hole or this piece that might be missing for you, pile 5. And, I don't wish that on anyone, and you deserve more than that. So let's look at the next card, which is how to avoid burnout. And we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So we have another Saturn card. This is Saturn in Leo. How to avoid burnout is really avoiding unnecessary conflict is what I'm feeling. Like the 5 of Wands in the upright can be ego battles. It can be squabbles. It can be like little petty bullshit, with, people that really, just want to start things and keep them going. And what I'm feeling with this in reverse, this 5 of Wands in reverse, is 2 different things. And take what applies. It could be one, the other, or both. One is that either this is more than ego battles. This is like the gloves are off, and, the people in your life that have caused conflict are like hitting really below the belt, and it's really caused a lot of pain for you. Pain that, is traumatic, like small t traumas and big T traumas that are really painful and hard to move on from, that have really knocked your confidence and self-esteem, right? Leo is all about, the inner child, and it rules the sun. The sun rules Leo, which is our identity. So it's like, what ways have people in your life kind of, affected your sense of self, and really hurt that? And then another thing that I'm seeing is the way to avoid burnout is walking away from these conflicts or certain people. And it can be hard to do that, right? With this Lovers in reverse, it's like not being able to see clearly the negative patterns or the relationships that almost like it seems like a good thing, but why do I feel this way? Like, this person says they love me, but why am I so anxious every time that they're around? Feeling those things, but not knowing why. It's like, the logical the logical explanation doesn't line up with the way that you feel. And what I'm really getting is that you really need to tune into your feelings more than, tuning into the mind with this Gemini energy, because, that's Mercury, but it's like really dropping down into how do they make you feel? And if it doesn't make you feel good, it's not for you, pile 5. They're not for you. Because with this Empress energy, it's like you deserve to receive love. You give love. I can tell just the energy that I'm getting from this card. Like, you still maintain a childlike wonder about life, even though it's knocked you down quite a bit of times. But not everybody is deserving of that from you, especially if they, are willing to hurt you and not make repairs. Really, really feeling that strongly. So the last tarot card that we have for you is the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience. All right, and we have the Chariot in reverse. And this is a Cancer card. So Cancer rules the 4th house. And I really was feeling 4th house energy of like, that's related to childhood and your roots and ancestry. Like, this is an ancestral pattern, that is repeating, almost a cycle that you're breaking. And it will help so much, the family, the ancestors that have come before you and the descendants that are meant to come after you, because you are almost like the one that will be the breaker of the cycle, the breaker of the chains, big Khaleesi energy. But, the Chariot in the upright is all about harnessing your will, and the strength, the will to move forward with your life. And right now, what's stressing you out is feeling stuck. So the wisdom that you're gaining from this experience is to learn how, to maintain a sense of softness in the face of, we have a lot of reversals. This feels like a lot of stuck energy. How to, move forward in your life, but in a way that is emotionally safe for you, not just taking the reins and, taking that chariot and driving it no matter, what's in front of you, but really tending and befriending and reparenting your inner child with what they didn't receive. And I'm going to pull a clarifier because I feel like there's more here to this Chariot in reverse. Can you please, Spirit, clarify the Chariot in reverse? What wisdom is pile 5 gaining? Okay, the Knight of Wands. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The Knight of Wands is, moves from a place of, their passion, their comfortability, a place of ease, and doesn't feel, stuck. They're really in tune to what lights them up. So that's really the wisdom that you're gaining, is learning, what lights you up, who lights you up in your life. And, any 7, which the Chariot is number 7 in the Major Arcana, is a card of wisdom, deep wisdom. So you're really gaining discernment of who makes you feel this Knight of Wands energy, because that's what I was saying. Like, you may not be able to see it, but your intuition is sending you messages in your body, is really what I'm feeling. And yeah, 8 of Wands, that's fast movement. That's really, learning how to harness your chariot. And also, I feel like with this 5 of Wands in reverse, if there are people in your life that make you feel this terrible and this stuck, with this 8 of Cups in reverse, it's like how to get the hell out of Dodge is literally what I'm hearing right now. So like fast movement, transition, move the hell out of that place and get away from them. So yeah, that's, gaining the wisdom of like what your inner kid deserves. So let's pull some oracle cards and see what other messages that Spirit has for you, pile 5. But this is really deep healing. And I want to say, I'm not a therapist. I do plan to go to school and get my master's in therapy one day. But if this seems to resonate with you, I would look up internal family systems therapy, because there are books and workbooks that, you can really do that work independently. It's a form of self-therapy. You can also do it in a safe space, a container with a therapist, but just offering that as a resource, that if you feel really called to this pile and you don't have a therapist or you don't have access to therapy, that there are lots of resources online for doing internal family systems therapy for yourself. But sorry, let's go ahead and pull some cards. But yeah, I'm just a tarot reader at this point, but yes, just wanted to say that and give that disclaimer that I'm not saying that as a licensed professional, but that, it's very healing. I'm actually in therapy and using internal family systems therapy, and it has helped me so much. So yes, here we go. Healing Earth, the power to give and receive healing. This is all about healing your inner child. You are receiving healing. And just like I said, you're passing it on down the line. This is a legacy that you're leaving behind. And also something that you're giving to your ancestors that have come before you that, weren't able for whatever reason to do this healing work, that they're cheering you on and they're activating this from the other side, and they're co-creating with you this healing energy for your ancestral line. So very powerful, pile 5. All right, let's look at that. Okay, and here we go. We have another 6. Card 24 reduces down to a 6. Lover's energy, adjustment, looking back, moving forward. Look at how that imagery, corresponds with the 8 of Cups. Looking back, moving forward, like doing some excavation so that you can harness that chariot and move forward into the next phase of your life, but healed, and able to trust yourself, trust your intuition. So let's get some more messages, see what else I have to say. Okay, and there we go. New moon in Taurus. Know your worth. You are worthy. You are valuable, pile 5. If there's anybody in your life that has made you feel less than that, they're a liar. That is their stuff that they're projecting onto you, and you deserve more out of your relationships than that. And that is coming from me. That is coming from the cards. That is coming from your ancestors. That's coming from spirit. And know your worth, so that, if there are new relationships that enter your life that try to make you feel that way, ways that you felt before when you felt less than, you can recognize it and spot it quicker and quicker each time, because you deserve better than that. And that's not to say if you fall into old patterns that, it's your fault and that's what you deserve. I'm never saying that, but just knowing that you're worth more than that. But, at one point or another, plenty of us have gotten into, bad relationships and have felt stuck in them. But just know, if that's where you are right now and you're in a situation that you can't get out of, or that you feel like you can't get out of for whatever reason, that you are worth more than the treatment that someone is giving you if they are not treating you, like the valuable person that you are. What other messages do we have for pile 5? So this goes really, really well with the Sodalite, because this is deep introspective work. Let's see, let me just do one more shuffle. So yeah, Sodalite might be something that you want to get. And then also with this, the black in this card, getting some black stones that really help with grounding, rooting, and protection. And we also have first quarter moon in Gemini, more Gemini, speak your world into being. So change those stories, change the way that you speak to yourself as well, because your subconscious is always listening, and you may not be able to see yourself clearly, see your worth and your value clearly because of the relationships that you've been in or the way that you were raised. If you, weren't shown the kind of love that you needed as a child, speak that kind of love into being over yourself, because your subconscious is listening. And it might feel uncomfortable at first, but the more and more you do it and make it a practice, you know, you will believe it and you will embody it. And that's what you deserve. So let's go ahead and get a mantra card. Let's see what mantra would be helpful for pile 5. Let's see. Let's try that again. Healing mantra for pile 5. Okay, and we got rewriting the subconscious. So yeah, a lot of subconscious influences here. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. So yeah, really practice speaking words of love over yourself, and really practice embracing yourself and receiving healing, and knowing that with this know your worth, that you deserve to feel good. And the more that you invite those good feelings and healthy relationships, people that make you feel good, that, you know, it kind of snowballs and ripples outward, that you'll just be inviting more and more of it into your life. And it will turn that bad, you know, those bad feelings into more good feelings, which is a boost to your confidence, boost to your self-esteem, which your inner child and you really deserve, pile 5. So let's go ahead and get some more messages. What else is there for pile 5? Okay, have patience and wait. So yeah, this work is not going to happen overnight. Especially, you know, you have this 8 of Cups. You have, you know, a lot of, you know, Saturn energy here. Here's another 8 with the 8 of Wands. Like, this is, you know, Saturn energy comes with hard work, but the payoffs are great. Saturn rewards hard work and patience and diligence. Trauma work and inner child work is not easy. It's easy to want to run from it and try to, you know, just rush to the feeling good, you know, and that could be like with this Lovers in reverse, kind of running to devil energy of trying to escape into what feels good right now, but is it really serving you in the long term? So really consider that, pile 5. What's worth waiting for in order to serve, you know, your greater healing journey and moving forward? Okay. Let's see what else we have. In this, remember to take care of yourself and your needs, okay? So it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to put your inner kid first. And it's okay because knowing your worth will make it all the more easier. Excuse me, that I know that grammar was really bad, but it will make it so much easier to tend to yourself and give your inner kid what they need. Yeah, but take care of yourself and definitely be gentle with yourself. Speak kind words, speak your world into being. If you're inviting more love and kindness into your life, it starts with you, pile 5. So let's see what else Spirit has to say to you. All right, card 25. This reduces down to a 7 with the Chariot. Breakthrough to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. So yeah, I really feel like, you know, as far as your healing journey, you'll be trying something new, something innovative, maybe some alternative forms of healing, and as well, you know, really look into IFS and different kinds of self-therapy, but energetic healing as well. Cord cutting could be something that you're looking into, you know, but really doing trauma work, this adjustment card, you know, looking back in order to move forward. It's like looking back to see what cords you need to cut in order to be able to, you know, transition into the next phase of your life so that those things don't hold you back anymore. Doesn't mean that it won't hurt and that you won't remember, But healing is a process. It's a whole journey. And, you know, just honoring yourself and giving yourself the care and tending that you deserve will be a big breakthrough, not just for you, but for your entire ancestral line. So that is really, really beautiful and very important, Pile 5. I really hope that you received this message and that it resonated with you. But that's all I'm seeing for you. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what pile you picked and how it resonated for you. And I want to thank you for your presence, your time, and your energy. That's truly where the magic happens. And thank you to all the collective guides and angels for these wonderful messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel with folks who could benefit from the messages. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe, be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye, Pile 5. Take care.